أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم والحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على أشرف الأنبياء والمرسلين سيدنا ونبينا وحبيبنا ومولانا محمد صلى الله تعالى عليه وسلم وعلى آله وصحابه ومن اهتدى بهداه إلى يوم الدين. فإن أصدق الحديث كتاب الله وخير الهدي هدي محمد صلى الله تعالى عليه وسلم وشر الأمور محدثاتها وكل محدثة بدعة وكل بدعة ضلالة وكل ضلالة في النار. ربي اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقهوا قولي. ربي لا تؤاخذني مما يقولون واغفر لي ما لا يعلمون واجعل لي خيرا مما يظنون. Bad. My dear brothers and sisters in Islam, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh. Welcome one more time to the House of Dua, and welcome to another blessed day of Jumu'ah in the year 1446 after the Hijrah of Rasulullah sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wa sallam. Welcome to the channel from which we learn about Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, about His creation, about His message, about His messenger, and of course, about His chosen religion known as Al-Islam. Welcome to the channel from which you learn how to live and be happy in the world we live today, and how to return back to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala on the day of accountability with even greater happiness and success. My dear brothers, my dear sisters, welcome to the final episode in our series, Lessons from Surah Al-Hujjuraat. We have brought you several episodes exploring the lessons that we could learn from Surah Al-Hujjuraat. Surah Al-Hujjuraat is chapter 49 of the Holy Quran. It's a surah that is popularly referred to as the surah of etiquette for those who believe. The lessons in Surah Al-Hujjuraat go far beyond those who believe. If the entire mankind were to adhere to the lessons in Surah Al-Hujjuraat, then of course the world would be a better place for all of us to live in. Many of the verses we have brought to you remind us of the responsibility, the honor we owe to our messenger Muhammad sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wa sallam. Abdul Khaliq wa Akramu Rasul, the best of Allah's creation and the most honored of Allah's messengers. And by implication, the honor, the respect, the obedience we owe to those who are leaders over us. And we also brought you verses that remind us what we owe to one another. The way we are supposed to treat one another in order for each one to go away happy, trusting, and loving to the other. We brought you verses in which we remind you of the kind of character, the kind of personality expected of you. We brought you verses that remind us of things that we would do will harm our relationship. Therefore, we should stay away from them. We brought you verses that remind us that we are equal before Allah. Irrespective of the material differences you see around you, we are all equal before Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And the deciding factor as to who deserves honor, who is successful, or who is a failure is not in material consideration. It is in your consciousness of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. How much you obey Him and how much you stay away from what He has asked you to stay away from. Today we are coming to you with the final 5 verses of Surah Al-Hujjuraat. These are verses that strengthen one another. They are on the same subject. And they are a reminder to us of what Islam is all about. The whole idea of belief and submission to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. If you are a non-Muslim hoping to enter Islam, what is your goal? What is your intention? Do you see Islam as an opportunity for self-enrichment? Do you see Islam as an opportunity for you to deceive others, to pretend, to go along, when in fact, inside you, you are not a Muslim? Is that your goal of coming to Islam? What about you who have been a Muslim? Do you see Islam, whenever you are called upon to do something for the sake of Allah, do you consider it as you doing a favor to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, as opposed to being called upon as a matter of privilege to serve Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? Do you think your Islam is a favor to the messenger? or a favor to Allah, or a favor to your fellow Muslims. When you are called upon to pay your zakah, it's your first impression, oh, why should I give my money out to that person? I'm actually going to benefit him rather than benefit myself. Is that your consideration? When you are called upon to contribute to building a masjid or doing a good cause, do you first of all focus on the one who is going to receive it from you? Or you focus beyond that you are serving Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? And if you are a Muslim, do you consider Islam as a load that you have no choice but to carry? Or do you consider it as a thing of privilege that you should happily engage in? My dear brothers, my dear sisters, are you one of those who question why you are told to pay zakah, why you are told to fast in the month of Ramadan, why you are told to spend your money to go to the Hajj, why you are told to wake up in the morning and go for Salatul Fajr and other salawat of the day? Are you one of those who question that? Are you one of those who believe that Islam circumscribes you, limits you from doing those things that you wish to do for yourself, and therefore it's a problem? And are you one of those who believe that Islam is a load you place on your shoulder rather than on your head? The verses we are bringing to you today will help us address these issues to the potential Muslim as well as to the person who is already a Muslim. Because many of us don't understand the difference between to believe and to surrender to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We are bringing you verses 14 through 18, in which Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala declared, Bada auzu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim. Qalatil a'rab amanna ko lam tu'minu walakin qulu aslamna. Walamma yadkhulul imanu fi qulubikum wa in tuti'ullaha wa rasulahu la yalitikum min a'malikum shay'an inna Allaha ghafurun rahim. Innamal mu'minuna alladhina amanu billahi wa rasulihi thumma lam yartabu wa jahadu bi amwalihim wa anfusihim fi sabilillah ulaika humus sadiqun. Ko atu'allimuna Allaha bidinikum wallahu ya'lamu ma fi samawati wa ma fil ardi wallahu bikulli shay'in alim. Yamunnuna alayka an aslamu. Ko la tamunnu alayya islamakum balillahu yamunnu alaykum an hadakum lil iman in kuntum sadiqin. Inna Allaha ya'lamu ghaiba samawati wal ardi wallahu basirun bima ta'malun. My dear brothers, my dear sisters, in these amazing verses, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has addressed the potential Muslim, the one who is seeking to enter Islam. Are you sincere? Are you pretending? Are you seeing Islam as an opportunity for self-enrichment? Are you focusing on the limited picture or the bigger picture of Islam? What is your dream? What is your plan? What is your hope? And verses are as well addressing those who already are in Islam. Is it a body upon you? Do you think you are doing Allah a favor? Do you think you are truly, sincerely serving Allah? Are you one of those who respond to the call without asking questions? My dear brothers, my dear sisters, the Prophet sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wa sallam began his mission in Makkah. Then later he migrated to Medina. While he was in Medina, a community known as Banu Asad, their leaders visited the Holy Prophet Muhammad sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wa sallam. They heard that the deen was spreading like wildfire. They heard that people were having fun, enjoying the deen, and victory had been granted to the Prophet at the Battle of Badr over the disbelievers, and the booties of war have been distributed, and people have found themselves in a new life entirely. And so, they decided also to take advantage of the situation to have their own piece of the pie. They came to the Holy Prophet Muhammad and declared, we believe. But what they didn't know is that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala was reading their mind. He knows that these are not people with sincerity. They were just coming to benefit what was in Islam, what the believers were enjoying. There was no true belief in their heart. They were coming to the Prophet with the intention to lie, to deceive him, to make him believe that they were part of the believers. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala responded immediately. Cool, tell them, Ya Muhammad, lem to me. No, you don't believe. You don't believe. You need to say, here we are to surrender to Islam. We have surrendered to Allah. There's a difference between believing and surrendering to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Because from the look of things, faith has not sunk into your heart. Your blood has not received it. Your heart has not received it. Your flesh has not received it. If you were to obey Allah sincerely and follow the messenger, your deeds will be recorded in full for you. Nothing will be diminished. Allah is all forgiving and all merciful. My dear brothers, my dear sisters, when the people from Banu Asad were told this, they were caught napping. They asked the messenger, how did you know our intention? The prophet told them, Allah the Almighty, the All-Familiar, has revealed your intention. So they were advised on what Islam is all about. Islam is not just a pronunciation of what comes out of your mouth. It has to be by sincerity. You have to surrender fully into Islam, and you have to have Iman. It's a combination of both, outwardly and inwardly. There are those who profess to be Muslims, but inside them, they are disbelievers. There are those who, inside them, they have sincerity as believers, but come and pray, come and pay zakah, come and do hajj, come and do salat. They are reluctant. There's a difference between both. You got to combine them in you in order to call yourself a Muslim. So in the second verse, Allah says, the true and sincere believers are those who believe in Allah and follow the example of the messenger. So they don't have any doubt of what they are going into. They don't have any doubt that this is the true religion. And they struggle, in addition to their belief, they strive to spend in the way of Allah, to apply their own life, their skills, their energy, their time, and their resources to serve the cause of Allah. Those are the truthful ones. Those are the true believers. Cool. Tell them, Ya Muhammad, are you the one to inform Allah about your own religion? Are you the one to teach Allah the deen itself? When he was the one who created you and commanded you that this is the best way to worship him? It is Allah who knows what goes on inside the heaven and below the earth. And he knows everything, big or small. They treat you as if they are doing you a favor, Ya Muhammad. They come to you declaring that they are obliging you by coming into Islam. No, they are not obliging you. They are not doing you a favor. No, cool, tell them. You are not obliging me by your own belief or surrender to Islam. Yeah, because there are many of us nowadays who think that we are doing Allah a favor, we are doing the messenger a favor, we are doing the imam a favor, we are doing the masjid a favor. When you are called upon to contribute. This is an address to all of us, including the potential Muslims. Tell them you are not doing Allah any favor. Indeed, It is Allah indeed who has done you a favor by guiding you to Islam. Islam is a favor from Allah. To be a Muslim is not something you pick up from the gutter. Allah has to find goodness in your heart in order to make you a Muslim. Man yuridullahu an yahdiyahum yashara sadrahu lil-Islam. When Allah intends to guide somebody, then he opens his heart to accept Islam. And according to the hadith of the Prophet, you are fiqh fi din. Allah will make that person have the sweetness of the deen. He will give him the understanding of the deen. Therefore, tell them, Ya Muhammad, La tamunu alayya islamukum, balillahu yamunu alaykum, an hadakum lil iman, in kuntum sadiqin. It is Allah who has guided you to the straight way. If you are sincere to yourself, that's the reality. And finally, let them know, Ya Muhammad. In Allah, Allah knows the unseen of the heaven and the earth. He also knows the seen, the visible and the invisible. And Allah sees clearly what all of you do. And dear brothers, my dear sister, these are verses that should make us sit down and reflect. What kind of Muslim are you? What kind of Muslim do you intend to be if you are still outside Islam and you are coming into Islam? Do you consider yourself to be those who pass through Islam but don't allow Islam to pass through them? Do you consider yourself to be those who are here to respond to the call of Allah and to do what He asks you to do, so that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will in turn do what is better for you? The hadith narrated by Abu Hurairah and the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, Allah told him, and this is hadith Quds, Anna inda zwanni abdi, I am what my slave thinks of me. Whatever you think Allah is to you, that's what Allah is to you. If you believe Allah can help you, Allah will help you. If you believe that Allah cannot help you, then of course you have to seek your help somewhere else. And you will not find that help. And Allah says, when my slave loves me and takes a step towards me by 1 arm length, I will take steps towards him by more than 2 arms length. And when my slave walks towards me, I take to him harawat. I will rush towards my slave so that both of us will meet. My dear brothers, my dear sisters, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is waiting out there for us to do what He asks us to do, to take the first step. Then He will take the next 2 steps towards us. But when you consider Islam to be a body upon you, or a fertile ground for you to make money, or to achieve self-aggrandizement, or you think that you are in Islam to disrupt the system, you are getting the message very wrong. There are many of us today who are carried away by their immediate challenges. That's their focus. And so they lose sight of the pending relief that is coming ahead. They lose sight of the shining light on top of the mountain. Why? Because they are focused on their immediate challenges. They think it cannot be better. There are others who are carried away by their immediate successes, and they lose sight of the gloom that is on top of the mountain waiting for them if they don't change their way. And dear brothers, my dear sisters, Surah Al-Hujjuraat is a surah like no other surah. Amazing surah. Amazing surah. And that's why we are going to conclude by reciting the entire surah to all of us. And I encourage you to read it from time to time, so that you benefit from its medicinal value. You know, we are in the life in which people use their mouth to tear down others, behind them or right in front of them. And sometimes you are handicapped, you don't know what to do to such people. They go about on internet tearing down your name, using your image to do wrong, telling people what you are not. That's the world we live in. How do you deal with such people? The more you read Surah Al-Hujjuraat, the more Allah elevates you beyond them. Allah told the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam in Surah An-Nur, when they try to slander his wife, yes, those who are spoiling your name up and down, they are within your fold, Ya Muhammad. But don't think it's bad for you. No, it's good for you. In the final analysis, they are actually purifying you. My dear brothers, my dear sisters, those who want to harm you with their tongue, fight them back by constantly reciting Surah Al-Hujjuraat, in which Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu la tuqaddimu bayna yaday Allahi wa rasulih wattaqullaha inna Allaha sami'un alim. Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu la tarfa'u aswatakum fawqa sawti an-nabi wa la tajharu lahu bil qawl kajahri ba'dikum li ba'din an tahbata a'malukum wa antum la tash'urun. Inna alladhina yaghduna aswatahum 'inda rasulillah ulaika alladhina amtahana Allahu qulubahum littaqwa lahum maghfiratun wa ajrun 'azim. Inna alladhina yunadunaka min wara'il hujurat aktsaruhum la yaqilun. Walau annahum sabaru hatta takhruja ilayhim lakana khairan lahum. Wallahu ghafurun rahim. Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu in ja'akum fasiqun binaba'in fatabayyanu an tusibu qauman bijahalatin fatusbihu ala ma fa'altum nadimin. Wa'lamu anna fiikum rasulallah law yuti'ukum fi kathirin minal amri la'anitum walakinna Allaha habbaba ilaykumul iman wa zayyanahu fi qulubikum wa karaha ilaykumul kufra wal fusuqa wal isyan. Ulaika humur rasyidun fadlan minallahi wa ni'matan wallahu alimun hakim. وإن طائفتان من المؤمنين اقتتلوا فأصلحوا بينهما فإن بغت إحداهما على الأخرى فقاتلوا التي تبغي حتى تفيء إلى أمر الله فإن فات فأصلحوا بينهما بالعدل وقسطوا إن الله يحب المقسطين. إنما المؤمنون إخوة فأصلحوا بين أخويكم واتقوا الله لعلكم ترحمون. يا أيها الذين آمنوا لا يسخر قوم من قوم عسى أن يكونوا خيرا منهم ولا نساء من نساء عسى أن يكون خيرا منهن ولا تلمزوا أنفسكم ولا تنابزوا بالألقاب بئس الاسم الفسوق بعد الإيمان ومن لم يتب فأولئك هم الظالمون. يا أيها الذين آمنوا اجتنبوا كثيرا من الظن إن بعد الظن إثم ولا تجسسوا ولا يغتب بعضكم بعضا أيحب أحدكم أن يأكل لحم أخيه ميتا فكرهتموه واتقوا الله إن الله تواب رحيم. يا أيها الناس إنا خلقناكم من ذكر وأنثى وجعلناكم شعوبا وقبائل لتعارفوا إن أكرمكم عند الله أتقاكم إن الله عليم خبير. قالت الأعراب آمنا قل لم تؤمنوا ولكن قولوا أسلمنا ولما يدخل الإيمان في قلوبكم وإن تطيعوا الله ورسوله لا يلتكم من أعمالكم شيئا إن الله غفور رحيم. إنما المؤمنون الذين آمنوا بالله ورسوله ثم لم يرتابوا وجاهدوا بأموالهم وأنفسهم في سبيل الله أولئك هم الصادقون. قل أتعلمون الله بدينكم والله يعلم ما في السماوات وما في الأرض والله بكل شيء عليم يمنون عليك أن أسلموا قل لا تمنوا علي إسلامكم بل الله يمن عليكم أن هداكم للإيمان إن كنتم صادقين إن الله يعلم غيب السماوات والأرض والله بصير بما تعملون. Ya Allah, by the honor of Surah Al-Hujjuraat, purify our souls. Protect our image, protect ourselves, protect us against those who want to tear us down. Ya Allah, protect us as you protected the Anbiya of Allah. Ya Allah, safeguard us against the machinations of the shaitan. Take us far away from evil. Deliver us to the light of the Quran, Ya Allah. Expand for us the frontiers of the deen. Count us among those who are guided. And bless us with the blessings of Surah Al-Hujjuraat. Finally, before you do anything, make sure you find out what Allah has said. Make sure you are humble with your voice. Make sure you investigate matters that come to you before you act, so that you don't harm other people. When two people among you are quarreling, make sure you are the third one to resolve the dispute. Control your mouth. Don't use your mouth to bring down people. Don't stigmatize others. Don't call people nicknames that will not be of value to them. Don't humiliate others. Man or woman, respect one another. Stay away from suspicion. Stay away from spying. Stay away from blackmail. Stay away from backbiting. You are simply eating the flesh of your dead brother if you do so. Stay away. Remember that all of us are equal before Allah. We are all brothers. We came from the same source, Adam and Hawa, alayhim salatu wassalam. Let's treat each other fairly. Above all, have sincere belief. It's not sufficient to say by your mouth, I believe. Neither is it sufficient to say, my deen is inside my heart. No, both have to go together. The true believer is the one who believes in Allah and follows the example of the messenger without doubt. And you are not the one to tell Allah what this thing is all about. Your job is to obey. Your duty is to say, Semina wa ata'na. And do not think you are doing any favor to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala or to his messenger or to indeed anyone else. You're actually doing yourself a favor. It's Allah that has done you a favor by making you a Muslim. And Allah is watching over your affairs. He will hold you accountable. ربنا تقبل منا إنك أنت السميع العليم وتب علينا يا مولانا إنك أنت الغفور الكريم سبحان الله وبحمده سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك نشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت نستغفرك ونتوب إليك.